Alright guys, we're ready to take our chain off. Now before we do that, I want you to notice how our timing marks are off right now. That's because of the compression on the engine, and if I take the harmonic balancer and put it on the engine. Now you're not supposed to turn the engine counterclockwise, but I'm going to do this right now with hand just to show you something here. So if I turn it counterclockwise, now of course, am I there or something? See how I let it go and it moves by itself. So what we're going to do is, hopefully this works, we're going to take out our spark plugs. Your spark plugs are going to be 5/8 or 16mm with a 6-inch 3/8 drive extension. What the heck do I got here then? Well, you're not supposed to use a 15 first of all. I did say 16, so
you said 5/8.
Or 5/8. Alright, and get our 3/8 drive ratchet. And once a good trick, if you don't have a spark plug socket, a spark plug socket is one that has a rubber boot inside of it to take the spark plug out, or it's magnetic. If you don't have one of those, like I don't, loosen it up all the way. And you can get a magnet or a 3/8 hose. And take them out. Alright, let's get all the spark plugs out. Alright, I got this. Alright, I got the spark plugs out. Now we're going to turn it backwards again. Tell me when it lines up, okay?
Okay. Right there.
Still, that's because of the cams. So it is definitely gonna do that already. What you can do is get a pair of vice grips and grab it onto one of the cams. Well, actually on both of them when we go to line them back up, and that's what we will do. Alright, but we're gonna leave it right there for now. Let's take our harmonic balancer back off. And the next thing you're gonna do is get you a 10mm, and here's your tensioner over here. You got two 10mm bolts. Hey, what's up, Tony? So you're going to take those two 10mm bolts. Let's loosen them up. And take it out. Take this one. Oh yeah, and also remember I told you before to get a rag and put a rag down into the oil pan, just in case you drop something down there, like one of these bolts. So tension just, because it's a spring inside there. So that's good. Take that out. Let's put, matter of fact, we'll put the bolts back in it, and let's go put this to the party line. Alright, now we're going to remove our guides. Now this one is a stationary guide. This one does not move. It's going to go by two 12mm bolts. One, and down there's two. And this one will rock back and forth. This is the one where the tensioner goes to. And this one's held on by one 12mm bolt right there. So we can go down here and get that 12mm bolt. Take up our guide, and here's the first one, and it looks in good condition, but we're still replacing it. This is going to leave the bolt right there, and we'll set this down.
When was the last time we had a car that only had one chain?
I know. And now let's get the two right here. And alright, let's get those out. Alright, we got the last one out. Let's bring this up, put this bolt back in right there, and the one up here. And just in case, let me see something here. Both of them are the same length, so you can cross them if you want. And now we got enough play on our chain. We should be able to take our chain right off of there. And your chain, your new one also is going to have three different colored links. Well, three links that's different. Whatever. You got two right there. and then go all the way to the other end, and you got one right there. That one's going to line up with the dot on the crankshaft, and these two are going to line up with the dots on the phasers. I'm going to show you that when we start putting this together. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is let's get our phasers off. Alright, let's remove our phasers. Now what you're going to need is a 1-inch wrench, and I'm not sure what's, I think it's a 24, 25 equivalent in metric. But you're going to have 2 square features on each cam. Right there, and then one over there. So you want to use the wrench, and that's going to brace the cam so you can loosen up the bolts on the phasers. Now you're gonna need 2 different bolts. This one is a 17 millimeter, oops, and this one is a 14 millimeter. So we're gonna go to the back one first. We're gonna get our ratchet in there, our wrench in there to hold it in place. And I'm using a 1/2 inch wrench and ratcheting on because I'm gonna make sure in case these things are super tight. Alright, let's hold our cam in place, and it wasn't that bad at all, so I guess I didn't need it. Let me, while I'm here, let's switch over to our 17 millimeter and loosen this one up. That one wasn't that tight. Now I'm not sure. We're gonna check the torques on it, on both of them, to see if there's a difference. Okay. Now since we got one of them loose, let's go back here. Let's make this one and take this phaser off. Okay. And what I'm doing, I'm looking at it to make... Wait a minute. That looks like it was scarred up, don't it? Like it was moving back and forth.
Yeah.
Holy cow. And I think that pin is pushed. Holy cow, this thing was way off. I hope this ain't pushed in or something, because you know that would be the locking pin to lock this in place. Let's check out the other one, and that would definitely throw off this timing of why this is like this. So where's my 17 millimeter socket? Let me get my socket, guys. Alright, let's get this one off. And we gotta be careful because this one has a tab in there, and that's actually spring loaded. So let's take that out. Let's take this off. Oh my goodness, look at that. The tab is inside here. So now I'm wondering, is it stuck in there, or
did it break and half of it is in there?
Oh my god. Alright, hey, this thing's got different holes for alignments too. Look at that. We gotta make sure. Oh, okay, it's we got 2 holes down there, so it matches up with the 2 holes down there. So alright, we know where it goes. Let's put this back and let me see something here. This sucks. Alright, let me go get a magnet and see if I can bring that out. Alright, we got a magnet. Let's see if good boy.
Is it magnetic?
I believe it is. But that pin is not.
Oh, it is moving, right?
It is? I can't tell you.
I thought maybe not. Maybe it was a shadow.
One thing one thing we do know is that has to Jesus Christ,
Do you
that's
have
gonna
a
suck.
pick thin enough?
Alright, let me go do what Sibby says, because we gotta listen to Sibby.
Alright.
Let's go get a pick and see if we can get that out. Alright guys, got a little pick here. See if I can even move it. I can't even move that thing. Does it like even turning or anything?
Yeah.
Alright, see, now there is another trick I can do, but the problem is this is precision machined right here. The idea is to get a hammer and hit it and try to shock it to loosen up or something. But you know, just like I said, unless I get a piece of wood, let's get a piece of wood with a hammer, and we're gonna try to shock this, at least try to get it loose. All right, guys, what I'm gonna do is use a block of wood right here. Oh my goodness. Hey, that ain't working, dude. That ain't working. Let's try a little bit more. Watch that crank go pat. Just broke off some wood. Didn't do nothing else but broke off some wood. Alright, that didn't work. Now this becomes a problem. Because now what I'm going to actually do is, I don't have much room. I'm going to try to center punch it, take a drill with a small bit and try to start drilling into it enough that I can get an easy out in there, or maybe when I start drilling, maybe it will start turning. So, alright, so let's get set up. Alright, first of all, let's wipe this up. Damn, like it got hot around there. Alright, what I'm gonna do, my center punch. This is the most important part of this job. The center punch. It's gotta be centered. Well, I don't care about really centered. But so I gotta go at an angle here. Holy cow, man, this is gonna suck. And that's some hard metal too. It's gonna be pure luck to drill that thing and that thing starts going in. You got a close up on that?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if that pen moves. I gotta push the thing in. Alright, let's get our drill set up, guys, and try this. Alright, we're gonna be using our DeWalt 90-degree angle drill. This thing is cool, man. There ain't no way. I'm not drilling into the cam. Am I going into the bolt?
Yeah, you are.
The pin rather? Okay. stopped. You can't see this thing for nothing. I don't know if the bit just sucked.
Well then.
Let me get another bit. Alright, got a bigger bit here. I ain't doing nothing with this hammer.
I'm kind of hoping for that thing to move, right? It's going, but it looks like it might take a year.
Time to change for another bit. Okay. I don't know how far that pin is, so what I'm going to do now is, how far did I go in? Let me see. Not much at all, did I?
It looks like you did. Too long, right?
I don't think so either. Alright guys, I'm really close to that edge. Let me go get me an easy out and see if I can twist that out. Alright guys, you want to make sure you have a set of these screw extractors. I call them easy outs. And what they are is little shanks with spirals on them. These spirals are reverse threading. As you screw counterclockwise into the hole you drilled out, that thing will go in there and grab the screw and hopefully take it right back out. So first we're going to see what size we need here. I don't know if this one, we might not have drilled enough. Nope, because the hole's got to be drilled enough so it can go in there and grab. And it looks like we ain't nowhere near it. Alright, so let's go and drill some more. What I'm gonna do is get some grease, and it'll help with the bit, and so you don't burn the bit out. Alright, so I'm gonna continue drilling that, and once I get down to a good point, we'll be back. Alright, got a little further. Let's get this right there, and what you want to do is tap that easy out in there. And then hopefully it grabs. Dang it, I don't think that's gonna grab, man. That's gonna suck. No, it ain't. It's not even budging. sure if it's the, maybe it's the bits that just. I'm making no progress. All right. Wait a minute. What's going on? Metal, so alright, let me get back to the drilling, and when we get to a certain point, we'll let you know. Alright, I'm gonna need some new drill bits, because either this just thing ain't drilling, or I got some cheap bits, but I don't. I got some DeWalt. But I did notice the pin actually looked. Yeah, because I wasn't flush before. That pin actually pushed down some. So I'm wondering, can I... Wishful thinking, trying to move this. You can see this close up, right?
Yeah.
So if I move it some, you'll be able to see it. Son of a biscuit, man. Oh, man. Let me see here. It's easy on just once. Just not enough in there to grab it. Alright, we're gonna be working with this back and forth, and we're gonna order a new drill. We gotta get new bits anyway. But ain't no use in sitting here on camera trying to get this out. You might as well just get you a new cam. But we are gonna sit here and try to work this thing out some kind of way. Alright, I'll let you know what happens. Alright, we drilled it out, but it's still. Good. It's still not right. So we gotta get new actuators anyway. So I'm gonna put it up there and see, but he's gonna need a cam. We gotta take this cam up. That sucks. Alright. Alright, so let's get that cam out of there. Now the thing is, to remove that cam, you got to take off the bridges, these bridges right here, that's holding down both cams. Now it's very important to make sure you put these bridges back in the same position they are in right now, and facing forward. And Kia made this easy for you. On each one, like this one is number 1, and then you got an arrow that's facing forward. And then if you go down, all the rest of them is marked number 4 down to number 5 with an arrow. Well, it looks like a triangle. It's a triangle, but it's an arrow. Dang it, facing forward. So you want to make sure you put them back. Now these bridges are held on by 5 bolts. 2 of them are, well, some of them has 5, some of them has 4. You got to be careful of that. Like this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. All of them 5. There's 2 10mm bolts, and then there's 3 12mm bolts. So what you're gonna do is take your 10mm And you're gonna go around and you're just gonna pop all the 10 millimeters loose. Now tighten them back up. It's got to go in a sequence. So be careful. Make sure you pay attention to the video when we put it back together. All right, you got that loose now. The next thing you want to do is actually, you know what? Go ahead, take all 10 completely loose, where you can actually take it out, but just put it back just like that.
All
right?
10 millimeters.
Well, all 10 millimeters. All right, let's get that done. All right, now that we got all 10 millimeter bolts completely loose, the next thing we're gonna do is do the 12 millimeter bolts. Now, what I want you to do on the 12 millimeter bolts is when you loosen them up, start from one of the corners, loosen it up, like this, and just keep going around, either clockwise or counterclockwise. Because if there's too much tension on that cam because of the lobes, it can cause one of these to crack. That's why you want to loosen them up all together at the same time, just breaking them loose. Now tighten them up. You're going to start from the center and not from the outside. So now that we got them loose, yeah, all of them are loose.
Oh, it smells really burnt.
Yeah. Definitely keep up with your oil changes on these cars. Well, actually any car, but these especially. Okay, we got them all loose. Now we're gonna start loosening them all the way, just like we did the 10 millimeter bolts.
And now that they are loose, you can loosen them up anyway, or you still do clockwise?
Now that you got them loaded, you can just loosen them up. Go ahead. And what I'm gonna do here is I switch over to my cordless battery operated ratchet. And as you can see, I'm still bringing them up. But you don't have to do this, but no, don't do it. Don't listen, just do it.
So a little bit at a time?
Yeah.
And clockwise.
You saw how the cam came up?
Yeah.
And that's what you want. You want to make sure these come up evenly, or it can crack that bridge. All right, all of them are.
One.
This one?
No, this one.
Here, here's heavy. All right, now they're all loose. Now I can go ahead. They're completely loose. Now I can go ahead and bring them all the way loose, and we're gonna do this one right here. And once we get them all loose, just like that, you can just take it, wiggle it, and take that bridge right up. And just remember, like this one's number 5, and there's an arrow forward. Just remember how it goes. So we can actually take this off and set this to the side, and then let's get all of them out, and then we're going to take the cams up together. Ready. All right, we got the last one to take out. Take that out. And set that to the side. And now your cam should lift right out of there. Now we're not replacing this one. We're not touching this one at all. So we're leaving this one alone. So take your cam and lift it right out of the carrier right there. Now, your cam is ready to be replaced. But be careful because you got your rockers right here. You can take, which one is good that you can see?
Over here.
These right here?
Yeah.
Now these rockers, they can come right off. So just in case you see one fall off, well,
Guess they can't come off that
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, they can't. They're actually connected right to the lifter. That is a valve lifter right there. And there's your rocker, and then you got the retaining clip holding that in. So there's you can see the hole down there. Now, oh yeah, let me pay attention. Let me show you this. Now you notice how the rocker has that little cutout opening right there? It gets bugging me. So that cutout has to go over that the top of the valve right there. See right there? So you got, if one of those falls over or anything, make sure that it goes in there, and make sure that cutout is right on top, just in case you see it do that. So putting that back, you got to make sure all of them are on. Like this one just came off a little bit, so just push that back. And before you put that cam back up there, you got to make sure all of them are on. So now that we got that done, the next thing we're gonna do is just clean this little. And this oil smells really, really burnt. If you don't keep up with your oil changes, forget what the manufacturer says. Every 3,000 miles, have that oil changed. If not, you're going to be doing this again. Now that we got that out, the next thing we're going to do is remove our 2 VVT solenoids. You're going to have, you can see the top of one right here. Let me just get a mirror. Matter of fact, I'm going to get a mirror. The other one you can see, is right here. Now they're held on, each of them are held on by a 10mm bolt. So what I'm going to do is get a 10mm. Take the bolt out. I might have to wiggle that side to side a little bit. I might have to get some pliers or something. Let me go get something. Be right back. Alright, I've set this mirror up so you guys can see this one right here. Now your VVTs are different. This one has a 90-degree angle connected to it. The other one is just straight. And you're going to get your 10mm back here, and there's the bolt. Okay. You're going to take the bolt out. Now because that one has that 90-degree angle on it, let's see if I can twist that one better. We're replacing these anyway, so okay, cool. That one turned. Then as you turn it back and forth, you want to pull out. Let me get the mirror out of the way now.
I gotta change the battery.
Okay, and pull that one right out of there. Guys, look at that. Look at all that metal shavings on there. That sucks. The only thing I can see, hopefully, man, dang it, that's very fine, is this is the metal shavings that could be coming from that sprocket when we took it apart and it's all messed up. Hopefully it's just that. It looks very small, but anyway, let's go over here. Now let's get this one out. And this right, I had to get a pair of pliers. So let's get a pair of pliers. If you're reusing these, I mean, you can grab by the connector, but don't squeeze too much because this is plastic. You want to try to grab by the body and twist back and forth while pulling it out. Let's see how this one looks. See, that one looks clean, and the sprocket over here was good. So we're going to definitely determine that those shavings came from that sprocket. Now remember, this one, the plug is straight. The exhaust one is cut at an angle. So remember that. And let's take our bolts and put them back in place. Now, while we're waiting for the new parts to come, now these parts are coming right from Kia, so you know, don't want to you don't want to go to eBay and get no secondhand stuff, or you're definitely going to mess this engine up. So in the meantime, while we're waiting, you want to take your razor blade. You don't want to take nothing very coarse, and we're gonna go around and clean where the gasket was, all where the valve cover is, and all down here. Matter of fact, let me this stuff will come up pretty. And make sure you have a rag down there, because you don't want this stuff going into the oil pan. So what you're gonna do is take your razor blade and just go like that. Take all the stuff off and clean all it up. Now if you want, you can take some like a Brillo pad, like the Scotch Brillo pads, not the one that's made out of metal, because you don't want those metal shavings going in there. The one that's made like plastic or whatever it's called, and you just go ahead and clean that up. So let's clean all that up. Let's clean up our timing cover so we can have everything cleaned up when we go to put this back together. Alright guys, you know what? I'm not liking this metal, so what we're going to do is let's take down that oil pan, because just in case there is any metal shavings in there, we definitely don't want that getting caught up in the screen and clogging up, lowering oil pressure. Alright, so let's get that pan down. Alright guys, now let's take off our splash shield at the bottom. You do have one clip way over here that we're going to have to just pop that clip out. And now we got a bunch of 10mm bolts. Just go around, one right there, one inside here, and just follow yourself around. There's one right here, here, and here, here, and there. So go around and let's get all those 10mm bolts out. Alright, we got one more. Okay, let's drop it down. Cool. Alright, let's go. Now this is really big to put into the party line, so we're actually going to just set this up to the side, and I'll put the screws someplace else. Alright guys, next thing we're going to do is get us a drain pan, put it right about there. Get a 17mm wrench or socket, and we're going to take out the drain plug so we can drain the oil. Okay, let's let that, dang it, son of a biscuit. Alright. Let's let that drain for a few minutes till it's empty, and then we're going to put our plug back in there, and make sure you tighten that plug back. Alright, we put down the drain plug back. The next we have is this little plastic protector right here. Now this plastic protector is held on by 4 10mm bolts. You can see that one, but then if you go on the other side, the other one's right there. And then on this side, you got one right by the oil filter, and there's one right in this little opening right here. Just go right up and take that out, and let's get this one over here, and that cover will come down. Let's put our bolts into there. All 4 are the same length, so we're good to go with that. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we have an inspection cover right here that we're going to be removing. Now you have one bolt right over here, 14mm. Okay. And take that cover right out. And if you want, you can put the bolt back in there, but you don't want to do, because we're going to be dropping down the oil pan. We want that out of the way. So that's going to go into the party line. Now the reason why we took that out is because we have 2 10mm bolts right there that's going into the oil pan. So with that cover there, you would have never known. You go to try to pry that down and you're going to break something. So now what we're going to do is get a 10mm, and what you're going to do is go around, and there's a series of 10mm bolts. We're going to remove them all. Down the pan. Alright, let's set this down. We're gonna let this drain just for a few minutes. Alright, got it out. I see a little bit of shiny in there, but just a little bit. So we could have got away with it. But good, better safe than sorry. Alright, now let's clean up all our parts and get ready to start putting this thing back together. Alright, we got our brand new camshaft right from Kia. Let's take this out. Ooh, yeah, buddy. Okay, match them up. Just to make sure that they didn't send you the wrong one. Alright, so what I did was take those lobes and match them up with that. And go around, everything is looking good. Now, for this procedure, you're going to need a 1-inch wrench also. That's when we go to put the phases back on. Because on these, they have a little square feature right there. And you're going to hold the cam in place, you're going to need that 1-inch wrench to go up there and hold it while you tighten up the bolt on the sprockets. Alright, so let's get this set down. Now, what you want to do is go over here, and remember, you want to make sure all your rockers are on the lifters, on the springs. And being that you took this one, the bridge off, you just want to make sure these are on as well. And they are. Alright, now we're going to set our cam in. Now, you see right here, the camshaft has these 5 little holes. This one's bigger. You want to just have that one facing in the up position. That's going to get you close to the timing mark. Alright, so you want to... Now, what you can do is... Matter of fact, it's a good idea to do this. Take just a tad bit of white lithium grease, and where the cam rolls at, you want to put there. That's to eliminate when you go to start it up, there's no oil up there. Just a little bit, because the oil pressure gets up there pretty quick. Alright, let's put it down. Now let's set our camshaft down into place. Perfect. Just make sure this one is in. You can just rotate it just a little bit just to make sure it is down. And now, remember that I cleaned up all the gasket. Well, the gasket goes in. I just gotta clean up this little oil right here. Just make sure this is all clean. You want to make sure there's no dirt where those bridges go down, or that's gonna mess you up when you go to torque it down. All right. Let's go get our bridges. Alright, we got our bridges in order, and we've got the bolts in it as we took them off. And remember, your bridges are all marked 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what we're going to do is take them, and I'm going to set them down right here. You're going to take the first one, take a rag, and you want to wipe off where it goes down. You want to make sure there's no dirt down there. Wipe off that surface. Each one as you put it down. And you can put lithium here, but you don't really have to. Just make sure it's all just got all the dirt off of there. So this is number 1, facing forward. So you want to set that down. Take each of the bolts, go in by a few threads to make sure they're not cross-threaded. You're not tightening them down at all. And then you're going to do the other 4. So let's get the other 4 in, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Alright, we got all the bolts started. Again, so we don't cross-thread them. Now we're ready to tighten them down. Now we're not going to tighten them all down yet. What we're going to do is just bring them down till they become flush with the bridge. 10mm and 12mm. So I'm going to start with a 10mm deep. I've got me in a little extension up here, about a 2-inch extension. So I'm just...
So we start in the middle?
Now on this, when we go to torque it, you got to start in the middle. But bringing them along like this, you can go any way you want, because you're just bringing them down till they just get snug. That's it. When it just barely stops, that's it. And you're gonna go to the next one. Bring it down. Again, you're not tightening up. That's all you want to do. is just go till it gets snug. Go around and do all the 10s, and then we're gonna go over it again with the 10s. So let's get all of them down and move on to the next step. Alright, now what we're going to do before we even start on the 12th, now what we're going to do is go over the 10s again, but now we're going to start from the center and work our way out, because now we need to bring this down all evenly. So what you want to do, let's start from this one over here. You want to turn it just a little bit till you feel tension on it. Then go to the other one just till you feel tension. Once you do that, then a good way of doing this, instead of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can go on a circular pattern. Like we started from here, went from here, now we can just go around a swirl. So now we go over here, bring that down, then keep going, following around, and that way what you're doing is bringing that bridge down evenly. Start off again and see how that one's really loose now. Because if you go and tighten down one, you're taking a chance of cracking that bridge. See, those two are tight. I can see our problem. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting there. Center ones. And this time you want to go till it actually stops, but not tight. Now see, that is good. Now you know your bridge, the bridges are all the way down, flush evenly. Now what we're going to do is switch over to the 12 millimeter, and start from the center and bring these down just till they stop. Alright, we got them all down. Now we're going to torque. Now the 10 millimeter bolts are different torque than the 12 millimeter bolts. The 10 millimeter bolts are torqued, of course, has a lighter torque than these. So what you're going to do is torque down these first. Now why do I say that? Because
these?
The 12 millimeters.
Thank you.
I'm pointing to it. They should know.
That don't mean anything.
The reason why we do that is because if you tighten down these first, let's say if these are 10 foot-pounds, you tighten those out, and let's say if these are 14 foot-pounds, you're going to tighten these down to 10, it's going to be tight. Now when you tighten these down to 14, it's actually going to bring that bridge down even more, and that's going to be loose. So you tighten up this one first, and that brings down the torque max, and then you torque down these. Alright, so we're going to start from with the 12 millimeter bolts. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, then go walk around. Actually going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then going to start from the 7, in the middle, 79. We're going to do that in a minute. Let's go get out to, because there's 3 on each bridge.
Yeah.
You got to tighten up from the center first.
Right.
So you go 1, 2, 3,
okay,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
so you gotta alternate the second one.
What do you mean?
The second bolt on each bridge that you do.
Well, you can go either one you want, as long as you got that center one first, and then go to the outer 2.
Oh.
Alright, so let's go get our torque wrench set up, and I'll give you the torque specs. Alright, we got our torque wrench, we got our 12 millimeter deep socket, and we got it set to 15 foot-pounds.
Or 20 Newton meters.
Or 20 Newton meters. So we're going to start from the center bridge, the center bolt. Done. Then go to the outer ones. Then once we finish that bridge, we can either go to either one you want, but make sure you go to the center bolt. And then the outer 2. Then switch over to here. Now let's do the outer two. Alright, now we're going to go to the center bolt. Now for the center bolt, I'm switching up on my torque wrench because the foot-pounds on this is really low. The minimum my torque wrench goes to 3/8 drive is 15 foot-pounds. So I'm switching over to my inch-pounds. Now, the torque on these bolts is 9 foot-pounds.
Or 12 Newton meters.
12 Newton meters or 108 inch-pounds. And I got my little torque wrench set to 108 inch-pounds. So we're going to start from the center one. Okay. This one. Then go to the circular pattern. This one. And this one. And then so forth. Alright, let's finish those up. Alright, I'm down to my last one. It's something I really want to show you that's very important. When you go to tighten this up, you notice that when I've been doing that, I've been holding a finger up here to brace this. Don't hold the socket right here or that will throw off your torque. And actually sometimes it can throw it off that you think it's tight and you think it's not tight yet and you're still turning it, you'll snap that bolt. You can't do that.
Where do you put your finger?
So you gotta put your finger, brace the ratchet on the head up here. Alright, so don't hold it like this, like we normally do, but hold it right here. And as you can see on this end, I'm not even holding it like this. I'm not even holding the ratchet like this. I'm actually just using my fingers to do it because I know how light this torque is. And done. Alright, let's move on. Alright guys, here we go. We're in the party line. Now, this is what I mean by the party line. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to start from where we are. And next in line is the VVTs. And then the sprockets. So, we're going to grab our 2 VVTs. Bring them over to the car. And no, we're not going to be using these. As you can see right here, we have our brand new VVTs. And that's all you want to do is grab these just to make sure, you know, that they are the same. I mean, these are right from Kia, so they should be the same. So, these are done. Let's put these to the side. And let's hold on. Let's get our bolts for these. All right, we got our 2 10mm bolts. Now your VVTs are already lubricated when you get them. If not, then you got a cheap pair. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the one over here first. It's the straight one. You got your opening right there. Put that in there. Now you want to wiggle back and forth as you're pushing down so you don't damage that seal. Just like that. Turn it. Take your 10mm bolt and start that off by a couple threads just so you don't cross thread. Now for the one in the back. You get a mirror here. You see right there. So let's grab our VVT. I'll move it in a minute soon as I get it to go in some. Okay, there we go. And now once you get right there, that's when you're hitting up against that O-ring. So what you want to do is keep twisting back and forth while pushing in, and you'll hear it. You actually heard it. It'll snap in. Line the bolt up. Line the bolt hole up. Get your 10mm bolt. Turn that in by a couple threads. Alright. Then you want to get you a 10mm socket. As soon as I find it, we'll get set. And I'm going to be using that same extension that I use for the bridges. And you want to go ahead, bring them down until it stops, and then just a little bit more. Do not over tighten. I believe it comes out to like 18 inch-pounds or 7. No, not even. About 18 inch-pounds. It's very light on that. So do that one, and then you're gonna reach back and get this one done. All right, so let's tighten this one up. All right, this job is coming out great. The next thing we're gonna do, let's clean up this little oil around here. Clean up over there. The next thing we're gonna do is let's grab our new camshaft sprockets. All right, we got our brand new cam phasers right from Kia, and we clean up our 2 bolts. Now don't confuse these bolts, because let me see, can you mess these up? Yeah, you can put them in each one. All right, this one that doesn't have any kind of oil ports to it and all, this one's gonna go to this phaser right here. That's the exhaust, and this one go over here to the intake. Now, but before we do that, let's take this up. And this is what's messed up on the up. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me get that old. This is what we mean by what was messed up with this one. Here's the inside of that one, and here's the inside of the new one. And you can see the pin sticking in the new one, and that's how it's supposed to be. And you can see the one that's messed up. You can see how it's grinded out, like from side to side. So this thing was definitely throwing off the timing, which was causing this vehicle not to start. All right, so let's put that down. Now that pin is gonna match up, gonna push that pin into that hole right there, the big hole. Well, you can't, probably, you're not even gonna be able to fit in the other ones. So yeah, that one right there. So what you want to do is just make sure it's close up to it. Put it on. Bam, right in place. Take your bolt. Start that off by a couple threads so you can make sure it's not cross-threaded. And that one is in. Now on the intake one, same thing, the big hole right there. So now, if like right now, I'm gonna take this pin, I'm gonna put it towards the bottom. There's no way you're gonna be able to get that in there. So it's definitely got to line up with that big hole on the top. Okay, get the bolt and put that in. Now this part right here, guys, is very important. Don't use no vice grips or nothing to grab onto the camshafts. Definitely you want to use that square feature with a 1-inch wrench to hold that into place while you torque these bolts down. Alright, so let's get set up. Alright, now what you're going to get is a 14mm shallow and a 17mm shallow. Try not to get long. You don't want a long socket because that might throw your torque off. So definitely you want to stay short as possible. Now next one you want to do is take your socket and just bring that bolt. Make sure the pin stays in there. Bring that bolt in until it stops. Okay. And do the same thing to this one. Okay, I did that one already. Alright, next you want to do, make sure you have your 1-inch wrench to go onto that feature right there. Now, this if you look right here in the front of the engine, remember before we were talking about these, when it's timed right, those marks right there will line up with each other. So we can actually, because right now our hex feature is, square feature is over here. So I'm trying to get it to so I can turn it a little bit and still be good. I want to get that. Let me get that in there. Alright, so I got my wrench right there. Now you want to get let's start off with the 14mm. Set your torque wrench to 52 inch-pounds. Foot-pounds, I'm sorry. 52 foot-pounds.
Or 70 Newton meters.
Or 70 Newton meters. you go ahead. Okay, that's one. What we'll do, just hold this a little bit to get that wrench out of there. And let's put it on this one. Switch over to our 17.
Are you gonna line that one up too, or not?
Nah, just I'm good right here. I'm at a good place. You don't have to line it up. I just wanted to have a good area with the square feature with the wrench.
So that one has the same torque?
Yep. And they are torqued just that easy. We are looking really good. All right, let's go move on. Let's turn around and let's see on our party line. We got our sprockets on, so they're garbage. Next thing is let's get our new chain and put that on.